Welcome back. This afternoon, you're listening to the Todd Laborowitz Show, Real Estate Radio and Sound Broadcast Network, WRC 1260 AM. I am your host, Todd Laborowitz, and we are speaking to Marc Dubick from Duball, LLC. Marc is a 27-year veteran with extensive experience as an institutional real estate investor and developer. Also, he is a graduate from Washington School of Law at American University. Also has his BA in economics from the University of Maryland and is a graduate from Gilman School in Baltimore, my hometown.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Well, to start off, Duball LLC is one of the most well-known real estate developers in the area. Can you tell us about a project that you are particularly proud of or most excited about?
I would say currently the project we're most excited about is a project we've named the Swift at the Petworth Metro Center. And that project is actually on top of a brand new Safeway. And the Safeway will open on June 27th. So it's just a couple of weeks from now. And it's going to be a state-of-the-art Safeway. I believe it's one of, if not the largest Safeway in the D.C. urban core, so to speak, in D.C. proper. And on top of the Safeway, there will be 218 residential units.
Wow.
And, we're very excited about it. There was an old Safeway there. We worked an arrangement out with Safeway a few years back and tore that down and now have a new state-of-the-art store. And Petworth has really flourished over the last few years. And hopefully the community is going to enjoy this new full-service grocery store.
Very nice. It's a big project, especially down in D.C.
It's a big project for D.C., very much so, especially for that particular area, because you don't find sites that are that large in an established community like a Petworth. So we were fortunate to be able to have the Safeway property to start with and then expand by having the housing as a component of it. It's very common now what you're seeing in a lot of the metro locations. You're seeing a lot of the mixed-use projects. Heretofore, there might have been just a single building there. The city and somewhat in the suburban locations as well, where we're seeing the metros, they want to have a little bit more density, a little bit more mixed use, so people can have the benefit of the metro and then have the goods and services right there for them.
All right. And when's the completion date for that?
Safeway will open, they're scheduled to open on June 27th. It's a Friday, and then the residential should open shortly thereafter that.
Very nice. Also, you have the big project in Bethesda that you had.
Yeah, Lionsgate. Everybody sort of knows Duball from Lionsgate. That was a very successful project that we built in from about 2005 to 2010. It was a large project, 12 stories, 158 residential units, high-end, luxury. Everybody knows it from the two lions that are out front.
Well, you also took high-end to another level. Well, it's not just high-end. It's very nice.
It's very nice. There's some very affluent buyers to be able to buy a project of that type. And we saw a lot of empty nesters, people that were selling their houses in Bethesda and Potomac, and people from McLean that would come over. Bethesda's gained quite a reputation as being I wouldn't call it 24/7, but it's certainly an 18-hour, 7 activities. There's always things going on, the restaurants and the theaters and whatnot. And we were very fortunate to be able to build a project of that ilk, which sort of we think set the high bar in Bethesda. And we're actually looking forward to starting another similar project, although not quite as large, the later part of this year.
Very nice. And also you're getting into the hotel. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, the hotel is in Rockville. I'm assuming you're referring to our site in Rockville, which is on the so-called parking lot of the Regal Cinema. That's what everybody sort of in the community knows it as. It's at the Rockville Metro Center. Again, we're very bullish on the metro system, and we build a lot of projects at metro locations. The Rockville project is a 15-story building. There's 2 cranes up right now. It's fun to watch. The little kids in the neighborhood like to come watch the cranes go around and all the working activity. Choice Hotels moved their headquarters from Silver Spring over to Rockville about a year ago. And part of their move, which was supported by the city of Rockville, Montgomery County, and actually the state, was to have the office component, but also to have the hotel component. So our building, 15-story, includes a 140-room Cambria Suite, which is the upscale Choice product. Choice has many franchise products. This is more their upscale product, as well as 263 residential units that will be for rent. And then there'll be a base of retail, about 5 to 7 retailers at the base, and a large parking. about 600 parking spaces. And believe it or not, that's phase one. Then we're going to do it all over and have a second phase. Probably won't have a hotel with that, but a large mixed-use project that will be 18 stories right adjacent to it where the existing parking that's left is currently operated.
Now, how do you mastermind all this? I was there when you built Lionsgate in downtown Bethesda, and you took it to a whole nother level, and now you're taking Rockville Town Center, taking it to a whole nother level. I mean, this is ingenious.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Thanks for the compliment. But it takes a lot of creative people. We have a great group within Duball, senior guys that partners that have been with me since the inception of the company. Also, there's a lot of wonderful vendors that we work with, architects, engineers, consultants, and it's a matter of sitting down almost with somewhat of a blank palette and saying, okay, what can fit on here? What's the right uses? What's going to be successful? What does the community want? And over the years, I found that you're best just going into it with an open mind. There's a lot of stakeholders, not just politicians within the jurisdiction that has the entitlement processes, but also the neighbors. If Metro's nearby, sometimes they have a say. Different people have different views on what's best for that particular site, and so you sit down and try to figure it out. And the hard part is sometimes during the course of the project, the economy changes, condos become less favorable, apartments become more favorable, or vice versa, and then you have to change accordingly.
It's amazing. Got a great team and building a great reputation. So one of our goals on the radio show is to bring industry knowledge to our listeners. Mm-hmm. Can you share some insight on what we can expect to see in real estate development in the next 3 to 5 years?
Sure. I think that right now, I think it's probably widely reported there are a lot of apartment buildings, high-rise buildings that are under construction. And the real question is going to be, what does our employment situation look like here in Washington? Because a lot of young kids are coming to the Washington area over the last several years because Washington was viewed as the darling of the employment world within the country, really. There was only a couple other marketplaces that saw the type of job opportunities. And when the young kids were getting out of college, they were coming here. And those are the some of the users for these type of apartments. So the question becomes, is employment going to be strong? Are the kids still going to come here out of college, move into these apartments, and keep the apartment market healthy? On the other side of that, a lot of the people that are moving into these apartments are on the other side of the spectrum. They're downsizing from their single-family house. They want a different lifestyle. They want to be in a metro. They're tired of, shoveling the snow or, carrying the groceries from the garage. And so what we're seeing in a lot of these apartments, especially at the metro, is I call it the Barbell Effect. On one side, you have the young kids that are just coming in the job market. On the other side, you have the, older, maybe empty nesters that are downsizing, maybe exiting the housing market. And the combination of that has been the driver, and we'll see where that goes. I mean, I don't think anybody can really predict it. It looks like job growth is going to be okay, but I'm not quite sure at this point whether we could say that Washington is the darling of the job market. Other parts of the country have grown and seem to have turned the corner as well.
So the focus is on the job market.
I think it's always on the job market for real estate because whatever we're producing at the end of the day, whether it's office buildings, you need office workers. Whether it's shopping centers, you need people to shop in them. Whether it's residential, you need people to live in them, whether they're renting it or owning it. So really, it's about job growth because that's what dictates, people that use these places. They use the physical realm that essentially what we're building.
It's amazing. Well, by the way, if you're just tuning in, I have with me Marc Dubick, founder and president of Duball, LLC. I am your host, Todd Laborowit, and you are listening to Salem Broadcast Network, WRC 1260 AM. Well, I'm blown away by this whole philosophy because you're really making some waves in the industry, in the whole real estate development business. How did you get involved with real estate?
Well, I graduated, as you indicated, from the Washington College of Law after 4 years at the University of Maryland, and I met somebody while I was in law school, actually was in the home building space, and got intrigued by the home building space, and out of law school was fortunate to get a job with a company called Low Enterprises based in California. They were opening a Washington, D.C. office, and I was there for 17 years. And I think they took a chance with me, and fortunate for me, I had a great opportunity, which is the way things are in life a lot of times. You get a lucky break. And in many sense, I say those 17 years were my PhD in real estate. I learned a lot from a lot of smart folks that were senior and low, and I was able to grow with them and grow with the company. and then had a chance to 10 years ago start Duball. Be 10 years in August, so a couple months away from the 10-year anniversary. So it's been rewarding, successful, met a lot of wonderful people. This marketplace is very fortunate. There's a lot of very competent people that are in our industry, and it takes more than just a developer to make these projects. There's so much expertise that goes into it that's required at every level, and we have such excellent vendors that we can turn to and partners to work with.
Very nice. So is your goal to hit every metro stop in the area?
Well, it's funny. Honestly, I don't really have the desire to be a big conglomerate. We as a group like to do a couple of projects at a time. We like to be very hands-on about it. So as I indicated, we're going to be starting at the corner of Battery and Woodmont Avenue, a new project in the next few months. And so we try to have a couple projects under construction at any given time.
Perfect. Well, Marc, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you taking the time. Coming up next, we have Larry Regan, bankruptcy attorney at Montero Law Group, LLC. We'll be right back after these messages.
Thanks for having me.
You don't go through life with a paralyzing fear every time you have a financial transaction. So why is applying for a mortgage so scary? At Topaz Mortgage with Todd Laborwit, it is about educating and empowering you to get from point A to point B. Todd provides you with his exact closing cost, best interest rate, then invites you to shop around. Plus, if you call with questions, Todd picks up with the answers. Learn more at ytopaz.com. They are industry experts that care. Topaz Mortgage, NMLS 131548, licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, MC 5344, Washington, D.C., MLB 131548, Maryland 18330, Todd Laborwit, NMLS 131497.